We need your support. Click the like buttons below. Now onto the video. Welcome to readtheticker.com. This is a little movie on what works in the market. Richard Wyckoff believed the large operators acted in a mercantile operation. For example, just like your local retail shop, a retail shop would accumulate woolly jumpers in the summer at wholesale prices while supply is high and demand is low. This is a process of accumulation. They would sell their stock of sun hats while demand is high and supply is low at retail prices. This is distribution. And obviously in the winter they would build inventory of sun hats while supply is high and demand is low. That's accumulation at wholesale prices, of course. And they would sell their woolly jumpers at retail prices while demand is high and supply is low, a process of distribution. Now the change factor in the retail business is the seasons and what people wear in the clothing business. This is top-down investing. You're planning for a change in environment to meet the demand. Bottom-up investing is choosing whether to sell sun hats or woolly jumpers or shoes or pants or other types of clothing, depending on which product has the great margin. Summary. Richard Wyckoff believed the retail shop mercantilism concept of accumulating inventory at wholesale prices when supply was high and demand is low, and then selling inventory at retail prices while demand was high and supply is low. It's the same operation executed by financial institutions, large investors and funds in the stock market. Of course, in the markets, inventory is stock float, and seasons is a changing business cycle. Time, of course, is the unknown changing variable, and market price and volume are the footprints of supply and demand. Of course, the stock market has a very complex business cycle in which the large operators would execute their mercantile operation. Let's consider how complex the cycle can be. The business cycle can go through a period of contraction and expansion, and it can last months, years and decades. Throughout this cycle, it will go through a process of contraction, then expansion, just like the 4 seasons of nature. You'll have fall, winter, spring, summer, fall. And each stage of the cycle would encourage investment into different sectors. Fall or beginning of contraction, you might go for safer investments like utilities. And when there's a full-on winter, that basically means a period of deep contraction. You might be buying undervalued banks and technology stocks, and you might be reaccumulating those in the spring or your stage 3. And as the market carries on, momentum builds, you're investing in more riskier projects, energy and oil drillers. And as the market gets into a bit of a Ponzi situation, you're buying diversified metals and healthcare, what have you, and you may become a bit of a contrarian, and then you're rolling over into the fall again and you're buying your safer stocks. But this is the general business cycle from a top-down investing approach. A top-down investing approach is where you're considering the market environment to look at see which sector best prospers in that market environment, and you'll drill down into the market leading into the stocks and to choose those which to invest in. Of course, the business cycle can be complicated with further topics such as large commodity and demand cycles, inflation, deflation, real interest rates, technology cycles, geopolitical, political, tight and easy money, social change, foreign currency, Wall Street with their financial engineering. Of course, we can't ignore the bottom-up investing approach, where you may be considering a stock and relative to its change in the profit and loss balance sheet or management or what have you. But we must be cautioned that it is known 70% of an individual stock move can be attributed to the sector or industry move. Therefore, selecting a stock that will outperform the industry sector and wider market must be carefully considered. But of course, it's always on the table. What I must highlight is that the greater the change, the greater the chance for profit, and the greater the visual footprint on the market will be. Catching the change can come from understanding the dominant cycle. The dominant cycle will rule the market. The dominant cycle footprint will be shown in price action via the battle of supply and demand by the market players. The birth, continuation and death of the cycle will be shown in price action. The greater the cycle, the greater the footprint, and highly investable. Fundamentals and market action may not always correlate. Market action may lead or lag fundamentals. There are many forces in the market, and a common powerful force is the informed doing all it can to keep the uninformed confused, out of the market, or incorrectly positioned. The market is most efficient method of wealth transfer, by transferring savings from the uninformed to the informed. Judging supply and demand action is therefore critical to judge the dominant cycle footprint. Richard Wyckoff and Richard Ney Logic is the premier leader in this field. I think I should refer you to a quote by Tudor Jones, who said he believes price action moves first and the fundamentals catch up. The market is a tricky place, full of fades, tests, misdirections. Let's consider some live examples. Apple. Price sold off here due to competition. Took off here due to the first time Apple started doing buybacks. Wholesale prices, retail prices. The change. Cause and effect. Time to resolve 24 months. Reaccumulation. Gold. Currently in action. Market push down. Building up a negative yielding sovereign debt. More negative yielding sovereign debt. Have a breakout. Wholesale prices. Cause, effect. Cause and effect is the Richard Wyckoff understanding of wholesale and accumulation and distribution. Bank of America. A slump here on economic woes, economic recovery, wholesale prices, retail prices, Richard Wyckoff, cause and effect, the change. S&P 500, wholesale prices, retail prices, change, the slowdown before the nervousness of the 2016 general election, politics, cause and effect. Thanks for watching. Richard Wyckoff believed the large market players work it in a mercantile operation to accumulate at wholesale prices and sell at retail prices using the business cycle and changing market fundamentals to get the best prices at both the buying and the selling stage via periods of accumulation and distribution. Thanks for watching.